So EA have finally given up and given us a 90 plus team of the season upgrade. Now, I might be thinking too much into this and we obviously can't see the date on it, but I'm assuming this is daily at the moment as it has got 28 days. I guarantee this SBC would not be just once for every 28 days, it would make no sense. It is repeatable, so I'd imagine we will get one every single day going for the next 28 days, and I could imagine that will kind of consist now over the course, because we've obviously got a lot of Galazzo picks, we've got the Festival of Foot upgrade, the 85 player picks, the 84 times 7, there is so many upgrades to do, so these methods are going to be fantastic for everything. They're not just going to be for this upgrade, but the video purposes, it's hard to get unlimited 90 plus team of the season upgrade packs. It's a bit of a mouthful, but we work with it. So it is going to give you all of the team of the season, so we have got to get an 86 rated team. Now, the reason why I would suggest grinding these out as much as possible is because most upgrades require a team of the week or a team of the season. Now, you might be thinking, well, I can go and do the 83 team of the week pick. And yes, to be honest, that's probably, in terms of fodder purposes, a little bit easier at times, but it is 2 SBCs requiring you to at least get 22 players. Now, you do get 2 tradable packs back, which, to be honest, the combined value of them is a packet of crisps and a Mars bar. Well, maybe not a Mars bar nowadays, but that is going to be the case for a lot of it. You're giving up so many players that you've got to get, so I kind of like just going with a single squad. It makes it a lot easier, and you can grind out everything in the meantime. So the first place that we're going to be looking at, and unfortunately they are back at the moment, we have got the 81 plus player picks. So there is 2 different upgrades that we've got this week. We have got the 78 times free, that is going to be the best of nations upgrade. That's going to require 3 rare and 11 gold common, or no, it's going to require 7 gold common and 3 rares. So that will be that one, and you get 3 players back. Or you have the 1 of 4 81 plus pick. Now, I have seen a lot of dodgy options with these, so I would be very cautious with them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grind out a few for you today so I can have a look for myself and see if the weight has changed or anything, because the big difference we've got at the moment, and I do like the picks, but apparently the weight is better than that's the problem, not necessarily the actual SBC, because you've got to give up 11 players and 2 rare anyway. That being said, you get the player pick option, so maybe yes, you don't get no duplicates, and it does take away from the 78, 79 and 80 value in comparison for doing the exact same but with 1 extra rare instead of a common, and you get 3 players back. So if I was, for instance, to just kind of compare the two just as a one-off, and it might not be, one might get the special, one might not. If I go with the gold here, we can then go ahead and go and put some rares in. I'll put some libs in because obviously I completely forget to put them into anything, and I end up with a nice stack of them, so that's always nice for the rare objectives. So this is going to be the 78 times free, and then what we'll do at the same time is we'll go ahead and do an 81 player pick just to see what the odds are. I know that you could potentially get 3 walkouts, you could get 2. The likely chance is you more than likely get a little bit of fodder. You might get a couple of 83s, and that's kind of about it, but even then you're not guaranteed the 83. So this is the 81 player pick. I will make a few of these, as to be honest I do like them more normally, and the first one, okay, 83. So this is the it's duplicate as well. Oh my. Okay, well, for the purpose of the video I'll get rid of him, but 83. Okay, so that's what's to be expected, to be honest. So let's have a look at this one and just do a 1 by 1. You can't really compare the two of them because one of each, it could literally be the luckiest pack or not. We're going to get Gabriel as an 84, so technically that is better for the 1 player, and you do get 2 fodder players as well. So that's where the value comes in for this, is the fact that you do get 3 players rather than the 1. So there is the arguments between them. Let's go ahead and do some 81 player picks and just see the weight out of a few. We've managed to get 28 built up. Let's have a look and see what we get, because this is going to be the part of the grind that hopefully will pay off. Now, I'm hoping we do get at least one make your mark, but again, I've heard not many good things about these, so I'm hoping that these kind of prove me wrong a little bit. I know we can still get quite a few 81s, which is kind of normally where the 1 of 4 really kind of pays off, that you do normally get somebody decent at least. We get an 87 in that one, which is nice. So far, so good with them, I must admit. We've managed to get I'd say what I was expecting. Sometimes you get lucky with some of the specials, but normally I would say you're getting like 83 at an absolute minimum, but a lot of the time you're looking at 84 and above. That should be what the 1 of 4s normally do. And if they do decide to give us 82 picks that are 82 picks that are 1 of 4, that should be even better then. So I'm hoping that's the next sort of case. So let's see what we can finish off with, because the main objective of all of this is trying to get into an 86 rated team. Now, this is not the only way, so definitely stay tuned as we get a Harry Kane 90. Very nice. Because what we want to hopefully get from this is a decent amount to go into other stuff that can kind of help the grind out as well. Managed to get Goretzka as the 85. And you got to think, with 28 of them, that's a lot of packs. Cheeky Furlan Mendy, always got to pick him. Next up, come on, give me a make your mark. What is it? Make your mark. Give me one of them. You know they want to. 1 of 4. Oh, it's just an 83 again. Come on. We've got a 90. We've got two 87s. Couple of 85s. Starting to slow down a little bit with these 82s. Mainly because I've got a lot of the 83s, to be fair. So it's a fair judgment as well. I'll kind of give them that. Next one up is an 85 in Bright. Coming towards the home stretch now. Can we find at least one special? That's what we want. One special at the absolute minimum. I think if you manage to get that, then you're absolutely golden. If not, it's not the end of the world, but I was kind of hoping that these should be paying out more. And I must admit, now we're kind of getting into the second half. It is massively slowed down. We're still getting some good fodder pieces, but it's not necessarily the greatest in the world. And we will kind of have a look and see what they look like in a second as we get another 84. Go with Russo. Final 3 to go. Can we find a special? We get an 85. Okay, we're picking up a little bit in terms of rating. That's nice. Next one is another 83. And the final one, was it right next to the first? And it's not a special, but it is another 84. So if we take them down to the bottom, we got a 90, two 87s, we got 5 85s, we got 6 84s, a handful of 83s. And to be fair, when you look at it, we only had to pick 181, and I think a lot of these 82s, we did have an 83 option as well. So that's not the worst in the world. There definitely could be worse picks out there. So from this, depending on how your club is, obviously when it comes to these, you want to be able to get more, because that's the whole point. Now, let me know down below if you would prefer the 78 times free, because realistically, I'd still have been able to do the exact same amount of 78 times free, meaning that I would have had triple the players back, but I'd have had no control over any duplicates. And it goes from 78 as well. So that's what makes it that little bit less of a grind with the 81 picks. You can kind of pick away from, obviously, duplicates, so you can kind of grind it out a little bit easier. So from there, we have a few options, because obviously we still have the 85 player pick. That's going to be great for any 84s. Then you've obviously got the 86 doubles, which I'm pretty sure is an 85 rated team. 85, and then we've also got the one-off 84 times 7. You've got an 83 and an 85. Personally, I am not a massive fan of this. I can imagine there's a lot of people out there that have managed to get some crazy stuff from it, but for me, it has been awful. So the first thing you want to be doing is definitely this daily gold upgrade. Daily gold, bronze, and silver, get them all in, because they literally cost you next to nothing, bar from like 5 minutes of your time. Do it on the web app. It makes it so much easier to grind out, because obviously you can put the commons, you can go golds, all of that jazz. Easy, or silvers in fact. Very, very easy to complete. From there, you've got the choice of obviously the 78 times free, or then the 81 player pick, depending on which one you prefer. I would still prefer player picks. I still think it gave us a decent amount of an upgrade, but then you repeat it. So naturally then what you could do is, for instance, when we look at like someone like a Kane, there's not really too much point putting him into an 86 rated SBC. So what I would do with him personally, and we know this because the market isn't absolutely on its bottom at the moment, is I'd just put him into an 89 upgrade. It's so much easier. You get 51 players back. I would kind of keep my 87s, I'd keep my 85s, and then obviously the 86s as well, which I don't think we got any of. But in terms of that, I would definitely keep my my fodder from them, because that's just going into the SBC, whereas anybody like 88 and above, I'd probably put into the exchange, meaning I can get more picks back. Then obviously if you've got any more in the fodder, in your fodder club, maybe you've got a couple of 89s you got from them SBCs just, or the player picks, then obviously you can grind them into as well, because there's not really too much point putting all your 87, 6 and 5s in when you need a team. Like obviously if I've already done the team of the season pack, fantastic, I can go ahead and put that in, because like 9 times out of 10 you tend to get something back from this. You get an 87 Coble, he can go into the team as well. As we've used up all of our rares and commons, they all go back in with not a problem whatsoever, so that is absolutely perfect. So from all that fodder, I think I had a couple of golds left that were a reasonable rating, but I didn't have major amounts. So from this, you want to be, the main objective is getting this team of the season, because you could get somebody good, you might not. There's a big chance, there's a big pool to go from with these. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and whack in a few 87s, get the 86s in as well, some of them from the club. We managed to get, what, 5 85s, so that's already going to be a great bonus already. So it could mean that I could use a couple of 84s if I'm using 87s and 85s constantly, and then we can kind of grind them in as well to make the least amount of kind of high rated cards in there, because you don't want to be using all your 87s if you don't have to. That's going to be the big winner here. So obviously now we've got the team, so I'm going to try and get rid of an 87, which isn't going to be possible. So what I would try and go is an 84, just to see if it works. Maybe I can try one more if I've got another 85, but I don't know if I do. No, we've just got 84s now, so I'm going to have to put in an 87. So what we'll do here is we'll go with Coble. He'll go in there, and then again, we'll try our luck with dropping down the rating. Maybe we try and get rid of one of these. That's not going to work, so we'll go ahead and put Laporte. In fact, we'll put Laporte in instead and see if we could drop it to an 84, because sometimes the ratings just work like that. And that's going to be the first one done for today. What you do from here is any other fodders that you've got is you just reset for another day. You obviously try and put your 84s into the 85 player picks. They could give you some special cards, because if you've got a duplicate make your mark, then obviously that's going to lower the squad down massively, and you want to try and put in as many 83s as possible. It's just about trying to save as much higher fodder, especially for the next day. So we're going to get Coble back. That's brilliant. So I don't know if I've even got him or not, but that's going to be great for another SBC. I know I've got him red, so I will absolutely take a 94 for an 86 team. I'm hoping, yeah, I was going to say, I'm hoping I ain't got him duplicate, and all it can do is just help out in the next run. There's players that require team of the seasons or team of the weeks. There's upgrades that do the same, and like I said, this upgrade method of doing the player picks, the upgrades, the golds daily, the just generic exchange, that's going to be every single day, making sure you're doing your challenges as well, and you can just grind it out at your leisure and grind pretty much any of these SBCs. So let me know down below if this did help. If you need anything else explaining, make sure to leave a comment down below, and I will catch you all for the next one.